kill switch. Welcome to this episode of Small Bike Stuff. Today we're going to be looking at an engine swapped ST90. If you're not familiar with the ST90, there was the ST50 DAX, there was the ST70 DAX which had 10-inch wheels, and there was the ST90 which originally designed a kind of a mini trail bike with 14-inch wheels, and they generally had knobblies on them from the factory. This has been upgraded with a 140cc motor, and it's also got road tyres on. So let's have a look at it up close and see what it's all about. First things first, we have a life fan. This has a lot of fancy coloured bits on it. They obviously don't add any power, but hey, that's cool. You've got a Mikuni copy carburetor sitting on the side there. It's a full 4-speed manual, so 1 down, 3 up. And I rode this thing quite recently, and it was really, really nice to ride. The fuel tank on these doesn't supply a massive amount of fuel, so I think it's like 2 litres or not even, much more than that. So they do have a low fuel capacity, but it was enough to go for a blat around, and the engine works really, really well. It is kickstart only, so as you can see there, you've got the kickstart and you've got your brake as well on this side. The engine also has an oil cooler, which has not been attached here, which some oil coolers do get attached to. It has been chucked down here into the casing on the life fan engine. So yep, nice little oil cooler on there, which definitely keeps temps down and means you can ride this thing probably a lot harder, a lot longer. Yeah, nice little engine. Wheels, we've got Shinkos. So on this side we have an 80/90/14, and this is obviously a road tyre. They're fine. The Shinkos are pretty sweet tyres. There's a rumour that Shinko got all of their tyre molds from Yokohama, but I don't know that for sure. But yeah, they are a South Korean brand, I'm pretty sure, and I've had pretty good success with their tyre availability for small bikes. On the rear, we have a larger wheel. So this is a larger tyre, sorry, 90/90/14 as opposed to the 80/90/14. So almost a square tyre, you could say, size-wise, not physical look-wise. And yeah, it's been really nice to ride this thing with the slightly fatter rear and the thinner front. The tapered profile is, yeah, really nice and helps in the cornering, that's for sure. Drum brake rear, drum brake front, it's enough, it does the job. Controls, well, these things are pretty basic, and this thing's been modified a little bit. So we've got a kill switch on here, and there's obviously an ignition as well on the bike. And over here we just have a brake, your accelerator, or your throttle. You do have these handlebars here which you can remove, or I don't have the strength to do it with one hand, but you can lift this up and unscrew it, and I think you can fold the handlebars sideways. You see those little teeth there? So you loosen it off enough to lift this up and turn it around. That's designed to kind of make it easier to transport, within a vehicle or, another place. So yeah, cool little feature there. Haven't done it, I'm not going to do it, this isn't my bike, but it's cool to know that it exists. Other controls, you've just got your shift lever, which is 1 down, 3 up. You've got a choke on the side of your carburetor there, massive filter coming off to the left side. On this side, we've just got the rear brake and the kickstart, and that's about it. Not many other controls or anything like that on this bike. Quirks and features, well, I guess one of the quirks and features of this bike is that it exists. The fact that they made this and sunk money into the R&D for a bike of this caliber is super cool. And this case in point here, this is around 40 plus years later, if not longer, and it's still around. Obviously had an engine swap, but that's neither here nor there. And it's just well thought out. There's a tool bag, or tool roll, I guess you could say, a tool can at the back there. You've got these really long shocks, which means you've got a lot of ground clearance, so they're fairly nice to play around off-road, within reason. Obviously you don't want to take this thing on the Paris to Dakar, but hey, it's definitely nice for a little gravel bash. Headlights up here with the inbuilt speedo cluster, standard Honda stuff there, and you've also got some reflectors on the side there. Really nice high guard as well, which means you've got no mud building up and anything like that if you go off-road and do those things. It's had a lot of time put into the thought process of it, in my opinion, purely because the 50 came first, then the 70, and now we've got the 90. It was the last in the bunch. Correct me if I'm wrong with the order they came out, maybe the 90 came first. But in my opinion, yeah, it just makes it a really nice, really fun little bike to ride. Let's start it up and see what it sounds like with that loud pipe. Kill switch. Choke's on, obviously. It's pretty warm today though, so and there you go. That's a fast revving 140. Now, I put the choke on just for effect. It is kind of warm already, but even if it's not, look, life fan, that means disposable engine. No, I'm joking, but they are a really reliable engine that can put up with a lot of difficult behavior, we could say. Anyway, nice to see you. I'll see you later.